Welcome to Weekly Art Inspirations, guys. So this episode, we're going to be doing a continuation of the Poseable Creature tutorial, and it's kind of more of just here's how I do the creatures that I make with this, and you know, if you want to take something that I do and use it to create your own creatures, that's great. If not, and you're just interested in seeing how this is created, cool, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Weekly Art Inspirations, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification so we can keep growing our art sprites, which is going to be the new term for you guys, because I realized Weekly Art Inspirations as a tag is kind of long, obnoxious, and I didn't really know what to call you guys. So now, anyone who is following Weekly Art Inspirations, you will be called Art Sprites, or Inspire Sprites. It's one of those two. I'm even forgetting what it is, but something like that will become more of the norm for what I'm saying. So let's get into it. So we did last time building the body. I have this little guy right here, the clock face that I got from work. And so what we're going to be doing this episode is we are going to be sculpting the feet and adding our first layer of batting to this body. And so what we're going to do is I have my new little cabinet that I use for all of my art stuff. If you guys want a tour of kind of what I use and all the different things I have in my art stuff, let me know in the comments below. But for the most part right here, we're going to be using, I have a little cup of artist tools that are for sculpting, and we're going to be using that. I have paper down because the clay I use will have to be baked. That's also why I have the tinfoil on the feet, is so that I have some kind of larger area covered, because the clay I use is kind of expensive. But and it is super Sculpey is what I'm planning on using. So I'm just going to move out of the way this box. And my Around the World box here is the one that has, sorry about the lighting, guys, but my one that I have here, I'm planning on using, I don't think I'll use Sculpey Firm. I paid a lot for Sculpey Firm, and I really don't use it as much. Well, actually, Sculpey Firm is less expensive than Super Sculpey. Alright, well, I'm just an idiot. But I'm going to be using Sculpey to do the feet on this little guy. If I need to, I may pull out my Super Sculpey and mix it with the, or my Firm Sculpey with the Super Sculpey, so that I can create a base that's a little bit hard and soft. So actually, you know what, we'll probably do that. So let's put this up here. Let's put my art supplies back. Ugh. Okay, sorry. There we go. And so we're going to start doing the sculpting. I'm going to try and get a good angle with my little setup here, but for the moment, this is what we're going to get started on, so let's go. So one of the things I did on this is I mixed up the Super Sculpey and the Sculpey Firm. And Sculpey Firm that I have is hard. It is vindictive of being firm. But pretty much what I did was I mixed it as best as I could. There was some parts that were a little bit pinkish, as you can see. That's from the Super Sculpey versus the Firm, that's a dark gray. But it kind of gave it a cool texture, so I didn't really worry too much about it. Here I just kind of created different little feet edges and wanted to give it a really interesting design of, I don't know, I was going with more of a simian or chimpanzee-ish type feet, and then with kind of the Druid claw idea that cats and dogs have. And so I kind of just went with that. A lot of the creature's paws and things that I like doing are usually more of a, I would almost say fantastical creature. I'm not really doing it specifically on one type of animal, but I added some claws and, you know, made little edges to them. I really love clay, and this is always fun to do feet to me for creatures, so yeah, that was kind of one fun thing about that. Another thing I didn't really go into beforehand is the fact that with what I'm doing here, I am using some different tools that I bought from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby. They are my favorite type of tools. A lot of artists that I know use these tools, and they have rubber tips to them. And they're really, really useful for anyone who's either starting out in sculpting or wanting to get some better tools. I love these. I had other artists and have seen other artists who said, you know, you should totally get these if you like sculpting. They can make very smooth edges, and they're a little bit less harsh on whatever you're working on, and so I really, really like the usage of them. So yeah, they're definitely awesome. I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry about that, but I would definitely look them up if you have the time. I'm really happy with how the paws turned out on this. I do use some chalk pastel to put on the bottom of the feet to give some black, and do a few details around the claws just to add a little bit of something to kind of differentiate details that I put into it. Okay guys, so there is a little paw and feet done. I used some chalk pastel on it to kind of add some details. I actually don't plan on painting the feet whatsoever. I kind of want to go with a natural look. I might add some gold details after baking, but there is a look at the feet. I can kind of turn him around. I have figured out that his name is Quartz because of the thing on the picture. So his little feet have been sculpted. You can use chalk pastel. For those who know and those who don't know, chalk pastel can be baked. It kind of makes it to where you don't have to use glaze if you don't want to, and add some color beforehand. But I'm going to go put this in at 275 into the oven. That is a normal temperature for baking Sculpey. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to go do, and when I come back I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll see if we want to do some gold highlights or if the little feet will just stay looking like they do. Okay, so for our next pieces guys, so we have the feet and everything that have been, I was going to say burned, they've been oven roasted. That's not the word either, but that idea. So these are completely fine to touch. I don't plan on using glaze. I've decided I'm not going to. So we have this little guy done. So our next phase of doing this is, sorry, my room's kind of a little bit of a mess. So if you're gonna do a doll based on how I do stuff, you'll need some thread. Doesn't really matter what color, because this is gonna go underneath, and you're going to need some polyfill. So it's this stuff, it comes in a big bag. It looks like the stuff you fill pillows, quilts with, but yeah, so you're gonna need that. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go through a little bit faster when I film it, so I just want to explain it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap this around one area that I'm gonna start on and tie it, and then I will literally just undo this little bolt to the ground, and I will start wrapping. I will put a whole clump of this polyfill on where I'm working, and then I will wrap the thread around it to where it's tight. You can build up muscle. Pretty much what you're doing is like in sculpting, you're building up muscle, and that's exactly the same idea here. That's what you're trying to accomplish with the polyfill, so that when you put the fur on it and you sew the fur to the sew the fur around the polyfill, it will look like you have muscle. So we're going to build that up. We're going to build it up for the rest of the body. I'm not sure how we're going to do the head, but we'll try that. My phone is over there because I watch YouTube videos while I work on this, but let's get started and we'll do this next phase of this. Hey guys, just want to cue a really quick in-between. Every week and as much as possible, and whenever you guys post anything, I would like to feature a few of you on the channel. And so what you need to do is just let me know on whatever social media you use, tag me @StarBriarArt, and use the hashtag #WeeklyArtInspirations or Art Sprites, as you are well known to me now. And let me know. I hope you guys enjoy seeing this. This is by an awesome artist and also actually a friend of mine who I've done some art trades with.
I will leave a link to their incredible art below. I just think this is so cool. It was after the 1 marker challenge, and they enjoyed seeing it, so they went after trying to do their own, and I think it turned out looking really cool. So be sure to check them out. Also, another little reminder, we still have our 50 subscribers going on, so be sure to tell your friends, let everyone know, and let's get to 50 subscribers so we can give away that awesome little fox. And back to the regular scheduled programming. So almost exactly like I said, I started out by using the thread, tying it at the bottom of the foot, and I just work my way up, putting more of the polyfill, I believe it's called, and just wrapping it as much as I need, adding more if I need some. Sorry about the camera angles here, they're gonna get a little weird. It's very hard to wrap the body when it's so with having a camera above me, you need to have a lot of control, and I don't tighten it super tight or else you'll break the thread, but I do tighten it enough to where it is firm. I do it less firm around the middle of the body just because it'll give a little bit softer feel to it, and I really like that with my characters. It's pretty self-explanatory, as I've said, that you're just building muscle. You add more or less depending on what you want it to look like. I will say that you want to kind of have a very even tone about how you're doing it. I do different segments and tie them off, like the neck, the legs, the middle, and I tie them off at least 2 times to make sure they're safe. But yeah, that is the second part of this DIY on Poseable Creatures. This is how he is looking thus far. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing kind of a behind the scenes on how I like making my creatures. I figured it would be something fun for people to see, and if you want to do it this way, that's great. If not, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can get your weekly dose of art inspirations. My friendly art sprites, stay inspired, stay amazing. Please remember, you are absolutely incredible, and never forget that you guys can do anything. So, with that said, I would just like to add, well, I've kind of already added everything, but subscribe, which I've said, which is kind of self-explanatory. I think I did this a little jumping the gun. Please excuse me, it's been a few weeks since I've been editing videos. I've been working on books, but stay inspired, enjoy some more videos, and, remember you're awesome.